Asa Winstanley is an investigative journalist at the Electronic Intifada. Joins me now from London via Skype. Good to have you with us live on the programme. I don't think it can be underestimated, can it, the actual conclusions of Ofcom in terms of how it adjudicates against broadcasters, not just Al Jazeera, but across the British spectrum?
That's right. Yeah, Ofcom as the statutory regulator can rule for broadcast media like Al Jazeera and can put sanctions in place, or in the worst case can even take broadcasters off the air in the UK if they're found to be in violation of the rules. And so it's really significant that it has sided with Al Jazeera in this case on all grounds.
How important is it, or how interesting was it that the argument put forward by the Israeli government that Al Jazeera was being anti-Semitic? It seems to be the default scenario for Israel whenever it's criticised.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, Israel and its support organisations, its lobbying organisations, and its apologists in the West and around the world, the default position is very much to smear its critics as anti-Semites. And this has been shown time and time again to be entirely without basis. The complainants in this case alleged that Al Jazeera's undercover filming and its documentary in January was anti-Semitic. Ofcom found that was completely untrue, that it was focused on criticisms of the state of Israel and how it was operating in the UK, and how it was really subverting the process of British democracy by undermining people who were arguing for the human rights of the Palestinians and accusing them of anti-Semitism. So its critics are accused of anti-Semitism, and then the people who tried to expose this false, malicious smear campaign are then also criticised as being anti-Semitic. So unfortunately, it's just a sign of the vacuum at the heart of the pro-Israel lobby's argument.
British TV channels have a daily influx of British news that they want to impart to their viewers. Al Jazeera has an international remit. How important is it for a channel like ours to able to investigate something like this? And what sort of impact does it have on a country like the United Kingdom? Because it's a very vocal critic sometimes of the way Israel acts against the Palestinians, for example.
Well, I think it's very important for undercover journalism to be able to operate on this issue, as in a lot of other kind of issues. Yeah, I mean, you can expect lobbyists of all issues, whether it's the arms lobby, big tobacco, or anything else, to on issues where they know they don't exactly have the public on their side, to be able to operate kind of behind closed doors and in the corridors of power. And they don't really like that being exposed to the light of day, as journalism does, and especially undercover filming like this. A good example of that in the film itself was Ella Rose, the director of the Jewish Labour Movement. The Jewish Labour Movement portrayed itself as kind of an almost grassroots group, which is just Jewish members of the Labour Party who are, trying to sort of have a Jewish community within the Labour Party. That sounds fine. That sounds like a perfectly good thing to do. But as the documentary showed, it was very closely, and is still very closely linked to the Israeli embassy. And its director actually was an employee of the Israeli embassy. So, when that was exposed, she wasn't very keen on that being out there. But it took undercover methods, really, for all these things to kind of come up.
Well, for the moment, we'll leave it there. Asa Winstanley from the Electronic Intifada in London. Thanks for joining us.